My mother left us to work in the adult industry. Now she's reaching out.
Ooh, I don't have anything for that.
Posting here because my therapist said it would be nice to get off my chest. My dad, 68 male, used to travel a lot for work, staying away for weeks at a time. He and my mother had an open marriage arrangement, though she was the only one who took advantage of it. Throughout most of my childhood, I remember her leaving at night to go to clubs, parties, sometimes staying away for days, and neglecting me and my brother. I learned how to get groceries and cook when I was 8. So my brother wouldn't starve.
So young.
Oh my gosh. By the way, this comes from Throwaway Crazy Mom 10. And if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OKstorytime subreddit. I'm Riley.
I'm Carly.
And I'm Keon.
And OP says, when I was around 13, my parents started fighting. Apparently, she had broken their deal somehow. My dad discovered the neglect, and she had started working in the adult industry. They separated for years, and I had no contact with my mother. I sent her texts, emails that showed as read, but she never replied. Eventually, I gave up trying to contact her. I managed to stay in touch with some people from her side of the family, but many of them began turning against us. They said we were too harsh on her, that we never supported her, that she was right to leave us. Gradually, I cut contact with them as well. She became pretty famous in the adult industry in my country and made a lot of money. I stopped using any NSFW websites since she appeared on the top pages of all of them.
God.
Fortunately, I suffered almost no bullying in high school because there was no way of connecting her to me. Most of my friends who had known my mother didn't recognize her after she dyed her hair and had surgeries. I moved on with my life, joined the army, and I'm doing pretty well now. However, a year ago, out of nowhere, she found me on social media and began messaging me. She asked how I was, commented on how I'd grown up so much, and tried to make small talk. I replied with one-word answers and eventually stopped responding when my nerves got the better of me. Apparently, she had retired, and after feeling what she called overwhelming remorse throughout her life, she decided to contact us again. My brother was cautious, but essentially accepted her back since he had always been closer to her. My father remains cordial, but nothing more. She also enlisted her entire side of the family to help. I was bombarded with messages and calls from both sides who had previously criticized and supported me and my dad. They all insisted she was remorseful, that she had made a huge mistake, but wanted to make it right, that she had come back for us. And I made it clear that I wanted nothing to do with her, but they persisted. I don't know, whatever you're comfortable with, if you're not comfortable to have her back in your life right now, don't do it.
Yeah, I don't think you have to. She chose to leave and not reach out to you. You tried reaching out to her. Why should she get different treatment than that?
No matter what your mom left to do, she left you alone, and your dad. Your mom and your dad left you alone for you to make groceries and cook food at 8.
Right.
She abandoned y'all.
Exactly. Regardless of what she chose to do, like, there's no shame in the fact that she wanted to go do that, but she shouldn't have left you.
Yeah.
Jem saying she's reaping what she sowed.
Yeah.
More recently, she somehow found out where I live and began leaving random gifts at my doorstep with messages that were clearly from her. Things like a basket of chocolates I liked when I was little, expensive clothes, she got my size wrong on all of them, flowers when my cat passed away, and even a very expensive hiking kit.
So now she's like hitting stalker territory, high key.
She's trying to buy your love. And also she's trying to be a mommy.
See,
A real mommy now.
God.
Okay.
And what sucks is her version of love is transactional.
Yeah.
You do this, I'll do this.
Right.
And that's what her idea of it. And now she's like, oh, my son, I need to be transactional with him.
Right.
Thus, that's how I can get back into his good likings.
Ooh.
So I messaged her several times saying I didn't want any of that. But she either pretended not to know what I was talking about or said she thought of me in that moment. I made it clear repeatedly that I wanted nothing to do with her. But she persisted, saying she could be my mom again now. I don't know what else to say, so advice would be more than welcome. We have some relevant comments. Pixie on Access says, you are under no obligation to allow her back in your life. Block her and her family and dump all the gifts she gives you. Stop entertaining her attention. If she will not stop, I'd honestly recommend going the legal route. Get a cease and desist letter sent out to her and her family, and if it doesn't stop, go to the police to get her pesterment on file so it'll be easier to file a police report / restraining order in the future. Opie says, I've donated or sent back all of the gifts already. Unfortunately, cease and desist letters are not a thing in my country, but I am really thinking about filing a police report for pesterment. Just don't know if they will accept since she never did it personally. I decided to take the moral high ground with a polite approach. I called her and asked her to meet at a small cafe since there was no way I was meeting her privately. She arrived looking like she had won the lottery, with a smile from ear to ear, almost jumping up and down. Her smile faded when she saw my face. She sat down and tried to make small talk, but I cut her off with all the calm and patience I could gather. I told her that no matter what she did or said, there would be no way for her to be my mom again. Wow. I explained that she was a complete stranger to me now, that I still had resentments, and reminded her that I tried many times to stay in contact, but she had refused. I even stated that I was almost 30 now, so I didn't really need a mom anymore.
Oh.
I'm sorry.
I mean, I think you always maybe like having a mom is cool, but yes, 100% agree. You don't need her anymore.
You've been good since 8, man.
You pulled yourself up. You took care of yourself and your sibling.
Yeah. Before I could finish speaking, she burst into tears and began rambling about how sorry she was. She apologized for not seeing me grow up, for ignoring me, and said she could do anything for a second chance. She even offered to have all of her old work taken down and pay for therapy if I wanted. Apparently, she didn't know I'd been in therapy since I was a teenager. I politely refused, and since the conversation wasn't likely to progress, I left after asking her once more to not contact me again. A couple hours later, while I was in the shower, my phone exploded with calls and messages. She had apparently told her family again, and once again, they were either cursing or trying to convince me. That showed me that some of the more direct advice from my previous post was right. So I decided to follow it. I changed my phone number, cleaned my social media of any family members from her side, and told my lawyer to proceed with the restraining order. Wow.
Okay. Sounds like too then wherever they're from, restraining orders are a little bit easier to get.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because here, I think that's a pretty long process.
She received an order a couple of days ago and immediately broke it by driving straight to my house to scream about what I was doing.
That's a great way to handle a fresh restraining order, is to immediately break the restraining order.
Oh my gosh. I didn't come out and call the cops. Thankfully, they saw the restraining order and took her to the station for questioning.
Perfect timing for it having one, though.
Yeah. I'm not sure if what I did was completely right, but at least I had some peace in these last few days. She's still trying to send gifts, but I'm going legal on that too. We have a second update. Keon, any predictions here? You think she breaks it again?
Yeah, I think she breaks it again. And I think with the family members, like, really berating you on this, I feel like OP's gonna be like, I don't want to talk, like, low contact with all the family members that keep doing this. They don't respect OP's wishes, boundaries. Like, they need to understand, like, great, you guys can have her in your life. I don't want her in mine. That's literally all you, like, and if they don't respect that, low contact or no contact.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm kind of wondering, too, like, the rest of that family, were they in contact with her while she was gone? Because they seem perfectly fine with, like, she's back. She hasn't been talking to any of us. She's back.
I want to know which family members are reaching out or, like, still talking to her. Because, again, if they're, like, cousins or it's his aunt or like how close was she with her when she abandoned OP?
Exactly.
Yeah, we don't have that context and we don't know who.
So we have a second update. You have anything else to add?
That's it.
My mother is now legally fighting the restraining order, and I'm trying to get an additional restraining orders for the extreme members of her family. My lawyer advised caution because requesting too many orders at once could make me look unreasonable and result in a lot of them being denied. She hasn't broken the restraining order again since that incident, but the gifts have continued and even intensified.
How does that not count as breaking it?
Yeah, it's like always, because one, how do you know they're not pampering it? And two, their presence is still there.
Right. That's still something from her.
I'm donating all of them. Although my childhood was difficult, I can say the amount of chocolate she has sent me is making a lot of kids really happy right now. I'll say it. I'm not revealing her name. Anyone sending messages like that will be blocked. Just drop the link, bro.
It's crazy that people are like, they read this all the way up to this point. They're like, so who is she?
So
That's
so what's the link?
So just give us a name.
Is there a link?
Oh, OP.
So this is a third update real quick. This is 3.5 years later. My mom has been pushing the limit, but at least with the restraining order, she was keeping away mostly. There were few incidents, like when she showed up at my dad's house during a family dinner and my dad's girlfriend at the time, now wife, opened the door. She also showed up at my job asking for me, and one of my friends on guard duty scared her off. By the way, we'll never scare you off as long as you watch stories just like this on your favorite podcast platform. Just search up OK Storytime on iHeart, Spotify, or Apple. We have so many stories just like this one. We have a little bit left here. Any other thoughts?
Mom is crazy.
Mom's crazy. Also, like, because she worked in that industry, having her show up at work
Yeah.
would be crazy because if someone recognized her, it's like, wait, that person was calling you their son.
Especially when OP tried so hard to make sure that he didn't have connection to her when she started that and kind of just like fully being like, this is not my mom. This is not my mom.
Yeah.
For her to be able to come in and like basically ruin that pretty quickly.
Life wasn't going well in other areas either. I kept being passed over for promotions. My requests for officer school were always denied. And then my girlfriend at the time cheated on me and dumped me. Years went by, and when I finally thought I would get a promotion, I got dismissed from the army along with many others. Sudden unemployment. I had to move back in with my dad while I figured out what to do with my life. The restraining order against my mom also expired, so she came back with renewed energy, which didn't help the situation at all. Oh, dude. This guy can't catch a break.
Renew that. Get a new restraining order.
I'm still figuring things out, but I'm determined to maintain my boundaries regardless of what anyone else thinks I should do. Wow.
Yeah.
Shoot, dude. Hopefully you get everything figured out. I'm really sorry for all the things that have happened. That is super unfair.
My mother met someone else online and it ruined our family.
Was he a prince?
And we do have a trigger warning for emotional abuse.
Oh, no.
I, 16 male, have always been very close to my mother, 50 female. I always knew that if I needed help, she would be there for me regardless of what it was. My dad, 52 male, on the other hand, though we loved each other and still do, wasn't as involved in my personal life, usually having to know how I was feeling through my mom. By the way, this comes from Marky Babies?
Yeah, sure.
And if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OKStorytime subreddit. I'm Carly.
I'm Sophia.
And I'm Keon.
And OP says, this, however, changed some months ago. Around January, my mom started to obsess with politics and Twitter, spending more and more time on the site arguing with strangers and being on the phone with some of the friends she made there. As time went on, she slowly started to isolate herself from her family and friends, closing herself in her room and barely speaking with my dad and me. The relationship between my parents hasn't been the best for the last 3 years because of different reasons. They became distant and rarely talked. At times, it seemed if they were just roommates sharing a house and only talking when necessary. Between her and me, though, there had never been any problems. Some occasional arguing, sure, but nothing serious. So it really hurt to see how she pushed me out of her life. This went on for some months until recently, about a month ago. By accident, I heard how she told one of her friends things like, "I love you, honey," and "I don't know what I would do without you." I exploded. I screamed at her without insulting or being threatening. That said, I'm not proud of what I did and have already apologized for losing my temper. I started to cry. I felt betrayed and felt horrible for my dad, though in the end, he didn't take it too badly since he kind of expected it.
Dang. Yeah, I mean, if she was closed off and isolating.
Right.
And really not talking to them, yeah.
She kept telling me how this guy gave her the attention that she lacked at home.
Well, if you stay in your room, it's kind of hard to get attention.
She's like, I never get attention. I'm going to go sit in my room and sulk.
I'm locking the door and you
can't
come in. Why aren't you talking to me?
I'm locking my door. Give me attention.
Please.
And how it wasn't cheating because they didn't have spicy sleep.
Well, that's not how that works.
It would have been pretty difficult since the guy literally lives in another island. I told her that her excuses were stupid and to stop trying to justify her actions, And then my father came home. He found me almost having an anxiety attack, and after calming down a bit, I told him everything. To sum up, they agreed to a friendly divorce. Everything was as fine as it could be. Or at least it was until a week ago, when, because of a stupid thing about internet payments, my mother started to scream at my dad, telling him that she was fed up, that he always did the same, and that he was manipulating me to hate her, when in fact it was quite the opposite. She said some really awful things and even pushed me because I was supposedly about to hurt her, even though I would never dare to even think of hurting her. After a lot of screaming, I had a full anxiety attack. I started wailing while she just kept telling me, "Look what your father is doing to you. If he just paid, none of this would have even happened. And if you love him so much, leave with him. But in the end, you will understand that I'm right."
Girl, you're the one who's like leaving your family emotionally.
Right. Needless to say, I was a mess. I had never seen her act in such a way, and it hurt me a lot. We called my grandma, and she asked me to give her a hug before going to sleep, even if what she said was that bad. And so I did. Not because I wanted to forgive her, but because my grandma would calm down a bit. But to add insult to injury, before even apologizing, which she didn't do at that moment, one of the first things she said was that I should stop insulting the guy she found on Twitter because he respects me and my father a lot.
I'm sorry. OP's mom said that the guy that she's cheating with respects her ex-husband.
Yeah.
No, he doesn't. He was having an affair with her. It's not really a sign of respect, I don't think, in any culture.
I said whatever, but again, it hurt that even after all the things that happened that day, the first thing she could think of was defending her boyfriend. Someone trying to date a married person because he knew she was married. He doesn't deserve to be treated with respect, if you ask me. And here I am, a week after this incident, and still a mess. She has apologized for most of what she said, and has started to be really affectionate, giving me hugs and trying to talk to me more often, but I just can't see her in the same way as before. She isn't even trying to change her behavior that much. She still spends way too much time on Twitter, and I don't know what to do. I don't think I want to cut her off, but every time I see her, I get in a bad mood and just want to go outside to take a walk or meet up with my friends so that I can relax and think about other stuff. So what should I do? My dad and the rest of my family are encouraging me to value her efforts to recover our old relationship, but I don't know if I will be able to, or at least if I even want to leave this behind. We have an update. Dakota, what are your thoughts?
I think it sounds a little hypocritical.
Yes.
Is that the right response? Am I right on the money with that?
Had you not heard it?
It just seems like being like, yeah, we should just be good with this. It's like, why?
Yeah. So
should
basically,
we really be okay with this?
I don't know. I don't think that you should rush yourself into recovering a relationship that has been emotionally damaging to you. If at some point you find yourself down the line ready, then that's fine. Like, don't close yourself off to future reconciliation.
Yeah.
But in the moment, if you're like, I don't know if I'm ready for that, then I don't think you have to.
Yeah, I would agree. But we have an update. So, hi. I posted here nearly 6 years ago
Dang.
about how strained my relationship with my mother had become after she closed herself off from both me and my father because of her obsession with politics. A lot of stuff has happened since then, so I figured I could make an update. I debated for a while if I should even make this update, since after all, it's been half a decade since I made the original post, and it didn't even get that much attention. In the end, though, I think it will give me a bit of closure, which has been difficult to find otherwise. For starters, I ended up moving out permanently from my mother's house not long after I posted. We had a couple big arguments about her behavior, in which she kept insisting that she had done nothing wrong and I should not be upset at her. I tried using some of the recommendations I got from people here, such as setting some clear boundaries with her, but nothing really worked. The straw that broke the camel's back, though, was when she told me that my uncle's cancer had come back only as a way to hurt me.
Was it true?
Since she didn't mention it before to avoid causing me stress.
Oh, okay, so it was true. She just
She just-
strategically mentioned it.
She just waited
To
to bring it
cause
up.
pain.
Yeah. Dang. Yeah, I'm glad you moved out of there. She kept that information in her back pocket until I made her angry enough to want to hurt me. As I mentioned before, I moved out and I ended up living with my dad and my grandma a couple towns over. By then, I was getting close to turning 18, so there wasn't much she could do to stop me, and to her credit, she didn't. After that last incident, I pretty much cut her off, and it has stayed that way up until now with a couple exceptions. The main one being that my grandfather ended up passing away in 2022, so I reestablished contact with her partly as a way to try to make my grandmother happy after her husband passed away, and partly because, in a way, I did miss her. As you might guess, it did not work out. At first, things seemed to be going slightly better than last time, since she didn't push as hard for my affection and seemed more respectful of my boundaries. That didn't last, though, and after another difficult incident during Christmas of that same year, I cut her off again, this time for good. Other than that, and for me personally, these years have been a bit of a roller coaster, with quite a few highs and lows. I finished high school, got into college, gained 40 kilograms, lost 25 of them, got really depressed, slowly crawled out of it, made some new friends, lost some old ones.
We just montaged so hard in that one sentence.
We just
Dang.
montaged your roller coaster.
Whoa, I just felt like I was like, whoa. I was on freaking Space Mountain right there. Saw your whole life flash behind my eyes.
Okay.
Good job.
By the way, it'll never feel like a roller coaster for you because you can listen to full episodes of stories just like this. Go to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, wherever you get your podcast, search OK Storytime.
If you
To be
want
fair,
a nice,
though, it may be a roller
soothing
coaster.
drive. It might be a roller coaster.
It might be a roller coaster
We can't promise that.
because this story's
Get
in
on
there.
our roller coaster.
Legally, might be a roller coaster.
Just to warn you.
Trigger warning, might be a roller coaster.
We got a little bit more though, but
I mean, yeah, it's been 6 years. Seems like
you moved out.
you moved out, moved in with your dad and your grandma. You're figuring your life out.
Yes.
It's tricky, as life often is. Good luck.
Woo. Right now, though, I'd say that I'm better than ever. Okay, there we go. I turned 22 a few months ago, and for the first time in a while, I look forward to the future. I just graduated from college. I'm officially a historian now. So cool. I already got into the master's I want to do. I have a pretty chill job, and next year I'm planning on staying for a few months in Belgium thanks to an EU program. Things are not perfect, of course, but I have a strong support system which has helped me not completely fall apart these last few years. My dad in particular has been my rock all this time, and our bond is stronger than ever. Even though him and I are very different and he didn't always know how to help me, he really gave it his all and I couldn't be more thankful. So yeah, these almost 6 years have not been easy, but I feel like I have come out on the other side happier and stronger. And that's the end of that story.
That's all you can ask for.
Yeah.
My mother tried to control my child, so I cut her off.
Get her out of there.
And this comes directly from the r/OKStorytime subreddit. So there is a trigger warning for emotional abuse. To start off, my mental health was really bad for a bit after the company I worked for was closing my location, thus losing my job and an awful breakup. I was a single mom of a 3-year-old daughter, so my mom kindly offered to have my daughter stay with her while I got the help I needed. By the way, this comes from AnxiousBunny93, and if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OKStorytime subreddit. I'm Sophia.
I'm Carly.
And I'm Dakota.
And OP says, I did an outpatient program at the hospital and got better. I found a new job and told this all to my mother, telling her I was ready for my daughter to come home. Her response was, maybe you should get settled in your new job first. Let her stay here for the rest of the month, which I did appreciate. After that time, I once again reached out and was told, she just finished school and this summer will be hard for you to find care, so let me watch her. your brother can help me. Is she trying to steal your child?
Yeah, I'm like, what's?
She's like, yeah,
Just don't worry
I'll give
about her.
back. I'll give her back eventually.
Just not right now.
I didn't have much help locally as she and my brother had just moved to a new city shortly before this story began. Again, I appreciated this. After the summer, I again asked for my daughter to come home, but my mother told me I was going to register her for school here so you can focus on you a little longer. This is where I began to grow frustrated, but I always had a hard time standing up to her. What?
I'm like,
She's stealing your daughter.
she's fully registered. Because then if she's registered in school, she
Yeah.
has to stay.
She's got to be there. She's stealing your daughter.
Oh,
Around this time, I had began to date my now husband, let's call him Tom. He supported me and loved my daughter on all my visits as she was at my house every weekend. During the next few months, we did move rather quickly and were living together a few months later. At one point, we had hoped to expand our family, but faced some disappointment. When I went to my mother for comfort, she told me, "Good, I can't raise any more of your kids." You stole that one.
You didn't let her go back.
I kept asking for my child. Give me my child back.
Also, even if like, because it's not like she fully, like, I'm sure that it could have been like, no, give me my kid back, but it's like she kept offering.
Yeah. Also that. Shortly after this, I again asked for my daughter to come home, which was halfway through the school year. My mother told me she wanted my daughter to finish the school year with her. I said some not so nice things to her, including a lot of swear words. This is where I started looking at legal help. Finally, yes. Sue her and make her give you your daughter back.
Or just go pick your kid up.
Come on. My aunt, let's call her Mary, found out I was asking a lawyer for legal advice and asked if she could talk to my mother before I did anything. I agreed. Several minutes later, I received a message from my mom saying, "You could have just messaged me about this. When are you picking her up?" I gave her a date shortly after my brother's upcoming birthday so she had time to pack and my brother could enjoy some time with her on this day. After she finally came home, my daughter told me how difficult life has been with my mother. And this honestly brought up a lot of challenging experiences I had normalized from my childhood. Emotional manipulation, controlling behavior, harsh treatment, the works, in a whole new light. She told me my mother had lied to her, saying I never wanted her back home, that I didn't love her,
Oh my
etc.
God.
My heart was absolutely broken. That's awful. I would never let her see my child again if she said that to my kid.
I have like no words for that right now. That's, oh my God.
To tell a child that her mom doesn't love her?
And then for like neither of them to, like the mom and the child to not know.
Yeah. At this time, my family held what I call interventions where they attempted to repair the relationship. However, they all consisted of me being open about my feelings, while my mother sat there staring at nothing in particular and not responding other than to guilt me for never appreciating her help and sacrifices. I still allowed my mother to see my daughter because I do think the grandparent relationship is important. Shortly after she moved back home, we started getting constant CPS visits and accusations over nothing. One being that Tom was acting inappropriately towards my now 5-year-old daughter, despite him never being alone with her as he had given me the opportunity to be a stay-at-home mom at this time. We buckled down, did what CPS wanted, including a parenting program due to her behavior issues and tension in the home after the whole ordeal. And they constantly told us they had no safety concerns whatsoever. My mother kept accusing Tom of being controlling to the rest of my family, though they actually knew him and knew that wasn't the case. They still can't understand why she dislikes him so much. After this, and a visit from my brother where he told me she had asked him to record my daughter for her so she knew she was safe, I ended up blocking her from my cell and Facebook so I wouldn't say more awful things. Frankly, I just didn't want a relationship with someone who didn't trust me or my judgment with my own child. Shortly before my daughter's birthday, I got an email from my mother asking if she could take her overnight for her birthday. I literally would not do, no.
No. She
No.
can't go back. Are you like that? I hope that was not even like an option in your mind.
I'd be like, no. Remember when you told my daughter that I didn't love her?
Remember when you
No.
called CPS on me?
No. Remember when you
Multiple
didn't want to
times?
give my child back? No.
Ah.
I asked my daughter, who said she'd like to, but would be more comfortable with my Aunt Mary or her great-grandparents present for the visit, which meant no sleepover. I relayed her feelings to my mother via email and never received a response. Mary ensured they still saw each other regularly with my knowledge and honored our boundaries. My mother told my daughter about the email and told her I never replied.
Okay.
We just have so much proof that that's not true.
Right.
When she told me this, I showed her my response and told her she was again lying to her. At this point, I do think that we need to cut your mom off.
Yeah, I like.
At this point, your mom is actively lying to your daughter.
I don't
and
know
is-
how we didn't after she was
Yeah.
actively telling your kid that
I would have cut her off after that.
you hated her.
Yeah. I mean, there's just no appropriate kind of.
I certainly
just
wouldn't be
totally
bringing my kid
inappropriate.
back without
No.
me present.
No, absolutely not. There's no way that, this mother would ever be alone with my kid. Eventually, the visits slowed down. She no longer reached out to Mary to see her. Mary, God bless, stepped into mother and grandmother role with us and spoiled her and my now 3 other children with gifts and time. At one point, she and I were at my grandparents' at the same time to use my grandfather's car tools. He has a much larger garage with tools everyone in the family visits to use. Neither of us acknowledged the other. My daughter even screamed her name and ran to her. My mother didn't acknowledge her. Her boyfriend introduced himself to me and told me, "Your mother's grown up a lot and misses you," while
Then
she
maybe-
stood 10 feet away.
Maybe she should tell me then if
Her
she's so grown
boyfriend
up.
said that.
She sent her boyfriend in to be like, tell him that I've grown
Yeah,
up.
she's standing over there. She's like,
So
I told him she would need to take accountability and talk to me as an adult, then took my daughter to the nearby park while Tom finished working on the car. They left before we returned. 3 years later, Tom and I had our first child together, and it was a very complicated delivery that resulted in the baby requiring surgery. We got married 5 months after her birth. We kept it very small, only parents and grandparents. My aunt once again stepped into the parent role. I never heard anything from my mother. A year and a half after this, we were expecting twins, and I heard my mother was engaged and had a wedding coming up soon. I received an email from her that said, "You've been on my mind a lot lately. You've never been far from it, actually. But lately, it's more constant. Maybe it's the upcoming wedding that sets it off. The fact that you've walked down that aisle yourself not so long ago. I wondered how that was for you without any parent present. I hope your grandparents and Mary have been able to fill that void for you. There's no intention in this email. I just wanted to reach out and say that I hope you're happy."
if you have to say there's no intention in the email, I
There's
feel
no
like there's
intention.
intention in the email.
The subject line of the email just says, "No intention, no subject."
I wish that the subject line says the intention.
Yeah,
And then
yeah.
they're like, there's no intention in the body of this email.
Yeah.
Read the subject.
Read the subject. Please refer to the subject
Please
if you
refer
want the
to subject
intention.
for the intention.
Also, look at the postscript if you want the subtext. I hope being a wife and mother is fulfilling desires and bringing so much joy for you. I hope every blessing and happiness that life can bring for you and your family. I don't fully believe that. As a mom yourself, I'm sure you know that nothing could ever stop you from loving your children, and I will always love you. Have a wonderful day and know that you're loved more than you will ever know. And I would love for you guys to listen to full episodes with stories just like this. Just go to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or iHeartRadio and search up OK Storytime. There is a little bit left to this story.
Oh my God. Take that email as the goodbye.
Yeah.
And we can just be like, great, have a wonderful time. See you at the wedding.
Yeah.
My daughter's not staying with you
Thanks.
again.
You're never going to see my daughter again.
I'm still not fully against, like, if your daughter likes your mother
Yes,
so
if
much.
you were there.
Exactly. As long as you are present, your partner is present, to
Yeah.
make sure that your mother is not actively being like, and your mom hates
Yeah,
you.
I mean, it's just like it's totally unacceptable that she's
Yeah.
actively lying to your daughter.
terrible.
But there's a little bit left to this story. Again, this felt like a guilt trip and a painful reminder that she wasn't at my wedding. This isn't what I wanted. I wanted to fix things, but it seems impossible with her. I'm honestly much happier without her in my life. She ended up getting married the day before my 1-year anniversary. My twins came and again had a difficult delivery where I had some serious complications. They're now 5 months old and I still have heard nothing since this last email. My family is still telling me to reconnect. So am I the a-hole for going no contact with my mother? Am I the a-hole for continuing no contact and living my life guilt-free with my loving small family? And some comments. Comment 1 says, not the a-hole. Calling CPS, especially on your then boyfriend, is a huge nope. People that can lie, gaslight, and manipulate like that need to be cut off. If not for you, then for your daughter. How many lies has she told her? You don't want her. You've abandoned her. What kind of human says that to a child? Disgusting.
Yeah.
And that is the end of that story. I agree.
Not the a-hole
Yeah, not
at
the a-hole.
all.
And also, it seems like she kind of cut you off.
yeah.
She never
Almost
said
like-
anything. So that's just kind of it.